Too many natties. Too many natties.
Just a few, it seems, right?
Yeah,
Just a
yeah, yeah.
few. Man,
Partying a little hard. Turned down the Senior Bowl invite, and
now we know why.
now we know why. Man had a time of his life, apparently.
Man had other plans that involved some beer. So
Yeah. And, I understand wanting to party, but when you're an NFL draft prospect, that's probably not the best thing to do. Probably not the best look. And, yeah. So Stetson
now,
Bennett, put his hood up like he's someone famous. Like, no paparazzi when he was leaving the what do you call it, the clink?
the clink.
Staying overnight. Oh, man. Yeah. I just don't understand. Like, you're already going to be a late draft pick. If you're going to be a first round draft pick, maybe you can get away with it. Maybe you'll slide in the draft just a tad bit. But my man doesn't even know if he's going to get drafted, and now he's like, you know what? I'm going to live it up.
Yeah, I definitely think it was a rookie mistake by him. I mean,
He's not even a rookie yet.
yeah, just a rookie drinker. You could tell last year after they won. I think he was on Good Morning America. You could tell he was just dazed. He had bloodshot eyes. He wasn't really understanding the questions that were getting thrown at him. He was just out of it.
Yeah.
And then now you've got him, on the repeat season. Now he's getting arrested for, I think it was drunken disorderly or public intoxication.
Yeah.
Which usually means you're a little too rowdy and drunk where you're not supposed to be drunk. And he got caught and
I think
thrown into the clink.
Problem with it is the fact that the reason why he said he skipped the Senior Bowl was because he wanted to train for the upcoming NFL draft. And the only thing draft was his beer. That's all I'm going to say that he was focused on. So,
I mean, I will say this. Okay, I'm gonna give him his credit. Granted, I mean the national championship it happened a while ago, so the partying should be done by now. He is still considered a college kid, even though he's about our age. But
my man's about our man. We're about to be in the hospice and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. It didn't sound like he was, trying to fight off anybody. It didn't sound like he was trying to evade the police like Baker Mayfield did, because Baker did do this. He was intoxicated in public. He was about to get cited or, handcuffed or whatever, and he just bolted. I mean, the dude was fast. I mean, it was like a highlight tape for if he's drunk in an NFL game, how would he play? And he was pretty quick.
Yeah.
But so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He's still in that college mode, even though he should be, a little more mature. But he handled it a little more gracefully than, like Johnny Manziel has, a Baker Mayfield did, and tons of other players have.
Yeah.
But he still definitely should, reel it in, focus on your NFL career, because you need to put every ounce of effort into it if you want to get drafted.
Every ounce. He's putting every ounce into his body, but maybe not into the draft. I think I have no problem. He won 2 natties, right? And drank probably a lot more. And the problem is the not Super Bowl. The championship is over. It's time to focus up. You're going to potentially be making millions, and NFL scouts are going to look at this and they're going to be like, you said Baker Mayfield, but Baker Mayfield was regarded in that draft as the number 1 quarterback. Stetson Bennett is not in that same regards. And so it's just different. And I know that shouldn't be that way. It just is. And then you just got to understand the outlook. You've already got people saying that, and including us, saying you're probably going to be selling cars in Athens in a couple years. You've already got people who doubted your whole life. You were a walk-on and everything like that. You got to learn to win and move on and focus on the next. Because say if he becomes the quarterback and they have a winning season, You trust him in the playoffs? Is he going to go party? Hey, we've got first round bye. Let's go party our 1 week or 2 weeks off that we get. Let's go get drunk instead of focusing up. So on a leadership aspect, teams could look at that and just kind of be like, whoa. And especially, and I know this is not his teammate and the former staffer, they passed away in a car accident, rest in peace, a couple weeks ago. But it's not a good look to be like, okay, they passed away. Now you're drunk, and it just, to me, it makes Georgia kind of look bad. Like, you're just like, all right, like, I'm just going to go get drunk before this big old process I got going on.
Yeah.
And to me, it looks bad. And again, I know he's 21, 20, or not even that. He's 25. And that's another thing. He's supposed to be more mature than these 21-year-old, 22-year-olds in the upcoming draft. And they're training while he's getting drunk. And so when I'm a coach and it comes down to a 4th, 5th, 6th round pick and I'm looking for a quarterback, this guy's won 2, national championships, and while he's on the shorter side, I could go with him, but he decided to get drunk and disorderly, not just get drunk, but, be loud, at least at the very least go to, he went to jail for a night.
No.
Compared to our quarterback who maybe doesn't have all the accolades, but maybe the same, because he doesn't have any intangibles that stick out to other maybe quarterbacks in his class.
No, the only thing he has running for him is that he has 2 national championships, and it was the team around him that got him there. So.
Yeah, and so that's what I'm saying. Like, if it comes down to quarterback A or quarterback B, and quarterback A and B are about the same, but one can't handle himself and can't handle his beer, or quarterback B who is at least working and trying to get better, who am I going to go with that late in the draft? Probably going to go quarterback B. So it's not
absolutely.
A good look.
Agree.
And speaking of the draft, Will Levis and Stetson, like I said, both skipped the Senior Bowl. How is this going to affect their draft stock, especially Will Levis potentially going top 10? This could have potentially let him go maybe even first overall if he put on a good show, because there are question marks about Will Levis. And then Stetson Bennett, who, again, might be a late draft pick, but if he would have played in the Senior Bowl and had a good performance, could have increased his draft stock.
For Will Levis, I think for him it was probably a good idea to skip it. I don't think there's much more he could really prove than he did in this past season. I personally am not a fan of Will Levis. I don't think he has the arm talent that he needs to be the franchise quarterback.
He's got one of the biggest arms in the game, sir. That's his only strength.
I just don't see him. That's what I mean. You got to have an arm means you are accurate and you can throw it down the field. He doesn't have that. So I don't think him going there is going to affect much. They're just going to base it. They already have him apparently like one of the top 5 picks in some of these mock drafts.
A lot of them going to the Colts,
which is absurd to me, and I'm sorry for Colts fans if that's what happens. Stetson definitely missed an opportunity here to prove that he has, like you said, he doesn't. When you look at his tapes over at Georgia, there's nothing that puts him with the C.J. Strouds, the Bryce Youngs, or any of those quarterbacks. There's nothing you're like, wow, he's got that really agile movement. He doesn't have the quickness. He doesn't have the decision making to get out of the pocket real quick and make a play happen when the play's dead. There's nothing there that separates him from the others. He's underneath everyone, in my opinion. And being able to go there would have been a great opportunity, but he missed out on it, and it's definitely going to hurt him in the long run. Will Levis, I don't really think it's going to affect him much. People are high on him. So him skipping it's really just, hey, I want to focus on myself, get my stuff going in the right direction, get everything I need to get going. And, teams are going to be like, okay, we get that. We understand. Now with Stetson, it's kind of, you skipped it. You got drunk. You got arrested. Now it definitely hurts him. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't think he's going to get drafted high or at all, in my opinion now.
Yeah, I would say Will Levis's strength is obviously he has a really big arm, but he struggles with accuracy. When scouts go to look at Will Levis, they're going to have to look at his 2021 tape and his COVID year tape. Those are kind of like his two best years. Last year, 20 was it? You want to say 2022? His 2022 tape, nothing stood out outside of his big arm. He wasn't accurate. He indecisive. He's athletic and a big arm, and that's pretty much it. He wasn't very accurate, and I know, it's the same with Anthony. But the problem is between the two is Anthony showed more pocket awareness, and he only had 1 year of playing time for Anthony. So when you're comparing Will Levis, and a lot of people I know there's a lot of Kentucky fans and Will Levis fans out there. They're like, well, if Will Levis isn't that good, neither is Anthony. And I get that as far as Anthony goes. He's only got 1 year, and that is his biggest concern is 1 year of experience. But Will Levis has 2 years, at least under his belt, starting. So you would like to see Will Levis have a little more progression. You would have liked to see his 2021 tape take that and build on that, but he didn't do that. Instead, he regressed. So as a scout or as a GM, I'm going to take a step back personally on Will Levis and be like, why did he regress so much?
Yeah.
Was it talent? No, UK had some decent talent. They didn't have an abundance of talent, but they did have some talent that he should at least shown that he can read a defense, and he didn't do that. It was more of a 1 or 2 read and then try to chuck it downfield or try to go for a run, and we obviously saw a lot of mistakes there with interceptions and stuff like that at the end of the season after they started hot. With Stetson, he showed up in big games, and he is athletic. I don't want to say sneaky athletic. He's just athletic. The kid can flat out run. Think Daniel Jones, right? Everyone thought Daniel Jones couldn't run. Stetson can run. His problem is his age and his height, and then you throw on to the fact that he doesn't have a big arm. There's nothing about Stetson that wows you when you're looking at his tape. And again, like you said, Uga had a plethora of talent, unlike Will Levis in UK, who had maybe 1 or 2 pieces. Uga had, talent out the wazoo, and so Stetson didn't have to do much. He did enough, but he didn't have to do much for them to win. And I don't think, and the problem is, Kentucky is probably going to take a step back without Will Levis, even though he wasn't great and they didn't have a great season. Georgia might actually get better without Stetson, with Brock Vandergriff and company there. So that's the difference for me. And then you throw into the fact that he decided to go get drunk and stuff like that. I know he's a kid, 25 years old, though. That's a grown adult to me. At 25, I knew not to go get disorderly and get drunk and go do stupid stuff and put myself in jail, especially not if there's millions of dollars on the line. So I think Stetson, like you said, is like if I'm 20, like me and you 25 is a lot different than Stetson Bennett 25. And I say that because me and you weren't going to go get millions of dollars in a week, a couple weeks. He is. And now he might have shot himself in the foot. And you don't want a quarterback to be shooting yourself. That's the last position you want, shooting themselves in the foot. So I think, like you said, he goes probably, I still think he gets drafted. But I think if he was going to go 4th round, it's probably going to slide to 5th. And if he was supposed to go 5th, he'll probably go to 6th. And like just take a round later. And it's definitely going to reflect bad on him.
He's going to be a great backup quarterback for some team.
For sure.